There's an apparent paradox in the way that the longer we've lived, the more appreciation we tend to develop for very small and rather undramatic things. This isn't a gradual, linear progression. It's a profound shift in the very architecture of what we value. Consider a quiet moment in the kitchen with a square of dark chocolate. In our youth, this might be a fleeting, forgotten snack. But with time, it can become a ritual, a 10-minute sanctuary where the bitterness and sweetness on the tongue are a reminder of life's complex but rewarding flavors. Consider a simple walk to work. Once a chore, a necessary commute to be rushed through, it can transform into a moving meditation. You start to notice the specific way the morning light filters through the leaves of a familiar tree, the faint scent of rain on the hot pavement, the brief, anonymous smile from a fellow traveler. These are the textures of existence we once sped past, blind to their significance. The list goes on. The very first green shoots pushing through the cold soil in the garden in January, a testament to resilience. A weekend with no obligations, which once felt like a void to be filled with noise and activity, now feels like the most precious of luxuries, a canvas of empty time. A very hot bath, a conspiratorial laugh with a trusted friend, the crisp crackle of a new book's spine. These things begin to matter more, rather than less, even as our experience of the outer world and its people and places keeps increasing relentlessly. In our youth, we are fueled by a different kind of hunger. We possess relentless appetites for scale and outward excitement. This is a necessary and vital stage of life, driven by a biological and social imperative to expand. We want to bestride the world, leave an indelible mark, and find the fabled soulmates who will complete us. We dream not of a quiet evening, but of a glamorous party. We crave not a gentle walk, but a journey to the ends of the earth. We can find ourselves standing in the most majestic settings before a roaring waterfall or atop a mountain peak and feel the itch of boredom in minutes. Our minds already racing to the next conquest, the next photo, the next story to tell. We take the greatest mysteries of life, love, and consciousness in our stride, treating them as problems to be solved rather than wonders to be inhabited. We seldom stop by the side of the road simply to think or to look. Our ambition points ever outward and ever upward. But at some point, for many of us, the direction of that ambition begins to curve, to fold back in on itself. It reverses. And what tends to initiate this profound change, this great recalibration of the soul, is pain. Existence, in its raw and unfiltered form, is challenging. And the longer we are in it, the more intimately we come to know its difficult facets. We learn about lovesickness, not as a poetic concept, but as a physical ache that steals sleep and appetite. We navigate the bitter complexities of infighting at work or within a family. We encounter the brick wall of human intransigence. We experience the dizzying freefall of a career reversal or the slow, grinding dread of political turmoil. It is these encounters with the sharp edges of life that begin to change our palate. The more we are exposed to the chaos, the more we may come to appreciate what remains pure, simple, and hopeful, despite its modest appearance or its complete lack of obvious glamour. Our newfound respect for a perfectly ripe fig, a moment of uninterrupted calm, or a kind but unexciting friend is not born from a vacuum. It is a structure built upon a foundation of difficult memories. It is underpinned by recollections of nights spent crying into a pillow, of entire months lost to a draining argument, of harrowing instances of untrammeled despair in the bathroom in the darkness. It is difficulty that catalyzes our interest in and our profound respect for the quiet patience of gardening, the melancholy beauty of a painting of a lake in autumn, the predictable life cycles of ducks, or a fascinating article on the moons of Jupiter. These things offer a solace, an order, and a quiet wonder that stands in stark contrast to the turbulent world of human affairs. It is the people who have known far more than they ever wanted about the clinical realities of dementia, cancer, employment law, divorce, and mental institutions who become the truly great appreciators. They're the ones who can feel the miracle in a single, perfect blossom. They understand the profound peace of an empty day stretching before them. They find a deep, meditative comfort in the gentle rhythm of a long train journey. They can look up at the moon hanging silent above the house on a warm evening and feel a sense of connection to something ancient and eternal. This contrast is never clearer than when we observe the generations together. To a 5-year-old, the world is a series of exhilarating presents. It's just another ice cream and another sunny day, delightful but expected part of an endless summer. But to the grandparents sitting with them on that park bench, the same scene is close to supernatural. Their vision is layered with the past and the future. They see the tiny, sticky fingers and the small, plump body, and they are filled with a fierce, protective love. They see their own child, who is now a parent, expertly loading up the car, and they marvel at the passage of time. They hear the distinct, cheerful sound of a house finch somewhere in a tree, and it is not just noise, but the soundtrack to a precious, fleeting moment. The child, if they are fortunate, has no sense of the fragility of everything. They do not yet know the story is finite. They are blissfully unaware of the cruelty that can wait in the wings. And so, who can properly, truly, deeply delight in another scoop of vanilla and melted chocolate until they have come to understand the fleeting nature of all things until they have, at best, a finite number of summers left? The simple wonders of the world are not new. They are ancient, but they are constantly being rediscovered. Those at the vanguard of this rediscovery, the pioneers of appreciating the ordinary, are those who first had to walk the corridors of hell. But this journey through darkness is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a new kind of sight. It is the fire that forges our vision, burning away the trivial, the distracting, and the superficial, leaving behind only what is pure, what is real, what endures. There's a Japanese art form called kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with lacquer mixed with powder gold. The philosophy is that the piece is more beautiful for having been broken. The cracks are not something to hide. They are part of the object's history, and they are illuminated. Our lives are much the same. The fractures from our pain do not have to diminish us. When healed with awareness and appreciation, they can make us more resilient, more compassionate, and more capable of seeing the golden beauty in the simplest moments. Having known the storm, we can finally feel the true, gentle warmth of the sun on our skin. Having felt the profound ache of loneliness, we cherish the quiet, undemanding company of a friend. Having faced the void of loss, we see the entire universe in a single blade of grass. This is the ultimate grace of a life fully lived. Not to escape the pain, but to find on the other side of it a world reborn in its magnificent, simple, and heartbreaking beauty. We learn, finally, that the grandest adventure was not to conquer the world, but to learn to truly see it, one small, precious moment at a time. If this reflection resonates with you, and you'd like to continue exploring ideas about finding meaning, wisdom, and beauty in our everyday lives, we invite you to join our community. Please consider subscribing to our channel for more content that nourishes the mind and soul. Thank you for being here with us today.